What's up, guys? In this video we're going to be going over the MIDI effects in Ableton. So how you should be understanding it right now is for each track MIDI comes in. You'll notice MIDI, this little MIDI indicator, just data, no audio, goes into a plugin or an effect or something. We're using Sounds 1. It goes in and it gets converted to audio, right? Depending on what key you're playing. So there are pre-plugin effects that will affect your MIDI, and there's a few of them here. First off, there's the arpeggiator. You can have a plethora of options, and I'll just show you two. That's rather important. We have a sync option and free running in milliseconds, or sync to your host. You can go 16ths. Right? Or you can go eighths, and that'd be like, right? Kind of whatever that is. The gate is the length of the note. So we can have a very short note and or a very long note past 100, so we get like a portamento if we want. So they'll overlap into each other. We have steps. So steps will go up the predetermined distance. So 12 is a semitone, so it'll go up a semitone and then back down. Right? And we can go up, down. We can go all that fun stuff. Converge, diverge. These are all, can't really get into that. What we have is we have chord trigger, I believe. What is going on here? Are we? Yeah, we're legato. Right, so we're gonna play two notes at once. So this is one of those things where, how do you do that? Because you have this and you try to play two notes and it goes from one note to the other. Oops. And if we have it chord trigger, multiple notes at once, but still repeating. We can, so back to this, we can have it transposing in a major or minor. So say if we have that and it's really fast and we want it to kind of, do its thing in a minor key, or that which is sad, or major, which is kind of happy. Right? We have that option, and we can go up fifths and fourths and all that fun stuff, or all the way up. Basically, oh yeah, another thing. So say if you have like it at 16ths and you have a gate set low, you can have the groove and have it swing. Whoops. Kind of like triplets. Right, and that is the basis of the arpeggiator. It's pretty fun. Yeah, set your root key and do all that happy fun thing. Chord. Now this is a good way to make like housey chord stabs. What this does is it takes a single input, and whatever you input, it'll input another key at the determined step above it. You can do some fun things like this. Alright, I'll turn off distortion. You'll notice I'm pressing one key and it's playing a chord that I don't know what it is, but we can pretend that we know. And it's good if you want to add interesting harmonics that are like, or not harmonics, like tones that are mathematically correct above it, above the note you're playing. So if you go 12 and 24, that's an octave up and then 2 octaves up. Right? And you can do some fun stuff with that. You can also change the velocity, so you can have like your root loud and then whatever else quiet. Right? But I have accent on, so can't really hear that. All right, I'll get rid of that. Note length. No matter how long you press the note, that's note length. It's self-explanatory. All right, so you can have long. Right? You can have it synced. So if you have like a pattern going, that's like one long note, or something like that, or it's just like a stagnant note, then you have that gate, same as the gate in the arpeggiator. So you can automate that and create like interesting release time effects for your synth. Pitch, lightweight way to bring things up octaves or down octaves. So if you have like a bunch of synths and you're not thinking that they're sitting right, you don't even have to do that. You can just have the drop down menu. And you can go 12, and then you can Control D and then go up 24 and then 48, and you can okay that's not gonna work, and then you can go -12 and do all that. Just it switches the pitch. Random has a chance to cause randomness. I don't know how this works really. It just makes it random, and I guess you can have a bunch of choices. Yeah, I'm not an expert in that one, sorry. Scale is pretty fun. You have different kind of scales here, so it'll shift certain keys up. So say if you're like off key, so like a minor pentatonic scale, so you have like a remix you have, or like some sort of like MIDI file, and you want to like see what it sounds like maybe in a different scale, or something that you wouldn't think of trying. You can try different scales here, like Ukrainian Dorian scale. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I have the Ableton push scale feature, so I don't really use that. All right, one more, I promise. Okay, we have velocity here. Now this is really useful if you have velocity as a source for certain effects or stuff like that, and you don't want soft velocity to hard velocity to be linear. You want it to be kind of one or the other. So down here, it can only be like really soft or like really hard in terms of the velocity, so you'll notice. Right, so I'm trying to go, right, the input is kind of like halfway, but it's only going like low. So you can have that for like a keyboard, or not a keyboard, like a piano, VST, and you can have like very soft inputs, and you can bring the threshold down, but then when you really pound on it, it's absolutely like all the way up, really. And yeah, that's very useful. So it makes velocity act in a nonlinear way. Same with, if you have like an expressive way of playing in the MIDI clip already and the velocity is kind of all over the map, this will normalize it. But if you're really pounding on the keys, then it's, it makes sense here. And you can adjust the curve, the linearity curve, and it's really useful depending. You can even have, every key is full velocity, well, fullish velocity, unless you're like playing it with a feather. All right, that is MIDI effects. That was MIDI effects. And yeah, hope you enjoy, and we'll be back later.